Hi Jean-Marie.
Hi Sylvain.
How are you?
Oh, very fine.
I'm so happy to have you on board on the team of the judges at the 2010 International Whisky Competition. That's great. How do you feel about that?
I was very happy to be a judge in this competition, and I was really happy to have done this very special tastings. The most important thing is, I guess, the fact that the people could follow us in direct on the internet, and this is really a new thing, I guess, in the whiskey world, which we have to continue.
Oh, for sure. And I recall when I first asked you on your forum, I mean, would you please want to be part of the judge? And you were hesitant, and I quite like that because you were wondering about your reputation. You didn't want to become part of some kind of marketing gimmick where everybody wins. I mean, I'm happy you made the right decision to come in Chicago and judge with us.
I can remember this, and I was indeed a little bit concerned, not so much about reputation, but yes, it's quite difficult to participate in the first session of such a thing. But well, I had enough confidence in your team, and well, I really appreciate the enthusiasm of the team of the International Whisky Competition. And I think this is which makes this competition great.
Thank you.
Even for the first time.
Oh yeah, I mean it's not the last, that's for sure. But can you please tell us a little bit about your whiskey background, where you're coming from, and how did you ended up into whiskey?
Ended? Not yet. Okay, I started drinking whiskey a short while ago compared to some other judges. Well, 10 years ago, I went to Scotland with my family, and my wife decided to go and visit some distilleries because it's part of Scotland. So she said, "Well, you don't go to Scotland without visiting any distilleries." I said, "Are you crazy?" No, she said, "Well, you know, she's the boss." So I just followed her, and well, we visited 2 or 3 distilleries, among them Glenfiddich, which I really recommend as. Visiting distillery for people who don't know lots of things about whiskey, because it's very pedagogic, very nice visit. And well, I bought some bottles in Scotland. I thought I never could find the same bottles in the country I'm living now. I'm a Belgian guy living in Netherlands since 25 years now. Okay. And when I came back to my home, I found a liquorist. Let's say 500 meters from my home, where everything I saw in Scotland, even more than this, and I began to buy some whiskies at this shop.
What's that place?
Well, it's a quite renowned shop now, but it's a very little shop in The Hague in the Netherlands. It's called Van Zuilen. And well, when I first entered his shop, he had about 300 whiskies, and I said, "Wow, this is a huge amount of whiskey." And I began to buy first all the whiskies beginning by A and G and C and so on.
The alphabetic order.
No, not in alphabetic order, but I wanted to have one whiskey from each letter of the alphabet. Of course, I'm limited I try to limit myself to Scotch single malts, so I have to stop at T, because after T there is no distillery anymore.
Correct.
And
in Scotland, at least.
It's got, yes. With the Japanese, I can go further.
Yes.
And this was a really great experience, and we had a very lot of discussions together. And after a while, I had bought everything he has in his shop, so I had 300 bottles at home. And I began to realize that having bottles at home is very nice, but
you had to share this knowledge somehow.
Well, the first thing is you have to put the knowledge somewhere down, because I didn't remember which bottle was the best of and I really each time came back to the same bottles, and the other ones they stayed just in the corner without being touched anymore. So I decided to start a website with my own tasting notes on it. Well, which is in the first instance meant for myself. It was very easy to check things everywhere in the world.
That's the very first one, the whiskey distillery that ain't full.
This is the thing I've created now 7 years ago, which is, I must say, amazingly successful. And for me, I didn't expect such a success. I was in the beginning. I said I will be very happy with 50 visitors a day. Now I'm in quiet times like now.
How much about?
Now, let's say between 1,000 and 1,100 a day.
Wow, that's fantastic.
And which goes up in December. In December, the month where people are buying whiskey, and imagine for Christmas, to 1,500 or 1,600 a day, coming from, in fact, from all over the world. The most visitors are coming from France, then USA, then UK, and then other countries.
Even myself, I must admit, when I went into whiskey and I would, I would want to try some whiskey, I would go see on your website the reviews before buying some of them.
This is a mistake. Because this is just my own taste.
That's what I discover
which,
sometimes.
And you will see on my website. Well, I publish all the. I taste whiskies several times. I try to have. Well, in fact, I'm not deciding which whiskey I'm drinking. My wife is deciding.
She's the boss.
She's the boss, of course. Well, she decided, and so because all the tastings I do are blind tastings.
Yeah.
So I just know which whiskey it was after I've written the notes.
Home judging.
No, not sure, but I don't want to be influenced by the fame of the distillery and so on. So
I see.
just do it in the same conditions every day. After my work day, 6 o'clock, very quiet, drink my whiskey, put down the tasting notes, but just for myself. And what I see is if the notes are sometimes very different from one time to the other for the same whiskey. Well, this extreme things is very different, but normally it should look like. It really depends. Whiskey depends on the conditions where you're drinking it. If you're drinking whiskey after a hard day of a normal day, if it's winding outside, if the neighbor is making barbecue, you have a lot of different sensations. And I don't filter it. I just put the notes on the side, and well, it gives an idea to people. But I wouldn't like people to take my website as a buying guide for whiskies.
But of course, I mean, you're kind of the reference for, I mean, an independent, passionate whiskey lover and reviewer. I mean, I'm so happy to have you at the competition, and I really hope you come next year.
I will be pleased to be invited again.
Awesome.
It's a great moment, yes.
Well, thank you very much for your time.
My pleasure.
And I wish you all the best.
Thank you.